You know, I'm going to tell you, Peter here, the apostles, refused to stop preaching about Jesus right here in the chapter we're looking at tonight. And even though they were threatened, they were flogged, they were in prison, they were still blessed. Can I say that? Hey, sometimes the devil will try to do it to you. The requirements that we must, as believers, we must believe that God is sovereign. That whatever, keep whatever path He takes for you, whatever path He chooses for Johnny, whatever path He chooses for me. Amen. We got to believe He's sovereign. We got to believe that He's in control of it all. And tomorrow when I wake up, if I live or die, it's in God's hands, and I'm going to trust Him. And if I live, it's a good day, and I can serve the Lord, and I can do what God would have me do. But if I die, don't be sad for me, because heaven's going to be where I'm going to be at, and I'm going to be happy. You know, either way I win, Randy. I'm a winner either way. It's a blessing. Then the second thing is that we trust that He will work out our good to every situation and circumstance. In Romans 8:28, what does it say? It says that He's working all things for good to them that love Him. That's what He's saying. They're called according to His purpose. That's why we can't fail. That's why you can't fail if you're following Jesus, you're doing what He said to do. You're to the best of your ability, and you're trusting God, to live your day, day after day, then, you cannot fail. The third thing is that we've got to love the Lord. You know that's a commandment? And we miss it. We get so simple that we miss that one. And I'm going to tell you, and you sit there and we go, duh, how did I miss that? When you say, well, Pastor, you mean you don't love the Lord? No. Yeah, hear me out on this. I love Him enough to get out of the bed in the morning and I fall to my knees and thank Him for the day that He's given me. That's how I'm talking about loving the Lord now. At lunchtime, I bow my head and thank Him for the food that He gave me. And tonight, that's going to happen again. And all through the day, I say, well, God, what should I do in this situation? Thank You for being there to guide me. Thank You for all that You've given me. And for Your provision, because He's a sovereign God. You love Him with your actions, your life. See, you came to church, and that's a good decision tonight. Very good decision. But you want to know what matters more? It's going to be what you do when you leave through them doors tonight. That's what's going to matter. You see, because, you're going to have some decisions when you leave this church. In the morning when you wake up, you'll have a decision. There's some things that you're going to find yourself that you know that you shouldn't do. Man, what should I do here? Are you going to ask God what to do? Or are you going to trust yourself? In John 1, let's turn over there real quick. 1 John. I want you to look, and we're going to finish up here quick. We're going through it quickly. I'll try not to keep you long, because I know everybody's tired. But look at what it says here in 1 John, real quick. Let me get to it, because I didn't have it marked. Didn't know if I could go or not, but feel led to go. 1 John, and what we're going to look at is chapter 5. And notice what it says. I'm going to read down. Now, I've got verse 3 marked here in my notes, but I feel led that we're going to read all of it. It says, whosoever believeth. Now notice what it says. Now this is very important. Whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God. How do I know I'm saved, Pastor? Do you believe that Jesus is born of God? Do you believe He's the Son of God? When you look at it, it's important. Notice it says that everyone that loveth Him, it says, and everyone that loveth Him, that begat loveth Him also that is begotten of Him. He said, by this we know that we love, He said that we love the children of God. He said when we love God and we keep His commandments. He says by this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep His commandments. He said in verse 3, He said, for this is the love of God, that we keep His commandment, and His commandments are not grievous, they're not burdensome. In other words, they're not, we don't go, oh man, you mean I got to pray again? Oh, you mean, it's just like, and I'm going to tell you, I got a good example for you. Let me tell you the way I watch television. Tracy can tell you this, she can back me up, and she can tell you every time it happens. I got a little thing. There's profanity out there anywhere. If you're going to watch TV, you're going to hear something that's not right. But I got a word that I won't let them say. And it's the GD word. I won't let them say it. They say it, you know what I do, Johnny? I stop watching their show. Amen? And I turn the channel. And Tracy, she was into a movie the other night. I can remember it was an old 80s movie. We was watching it, and there we was, man, we was both, and we was laughing, and I remember what I was doing when I was watching this movie, and we was all talking to each other, and all of a sudden, there it was. And I went, she's like, oh, I can't believe they said that. I didn't know they said that in there. Well, you don't know it because most of the time we watch TV that's cut. In other words, they took those words out. Now they're trying to put that word back in. I think somebody ought to stand up to the SDC and call them and say, hey, you know, you can say every other word, but you can't, hey, you can't say anything else, but you can say that. I think, hey, that's the mindset in America today. That's the problem. But when we look, notice, you know, we go in there, look at what it said there. We go back to our text now and notice there. You know, it says, we love God not just when it's convenient or it's desirable, but we love God all the time. In other words, I love Him enough that I'm not going to let them take His name in vain. They can say it if they want to, but I'm going to turn the channel and I ain't going to watch it. Even no matter how much I want to watch that movie, I'm going to turn the channel. You know why? Because, hey, I'm not going to allow them to do it. Not to me. They can talk to it. They can say it. If they want to, hey, bend down to their level and say that, I'm not going to watch their channel. In verse 4, it says, listen to Him. It says, when you pray, you got to make time to hear what God says. That's something we forget all the time. Sometimes, when you get down on your knees, be quiet and listen. Important. The fifth thing is be courageous. Obeying God takes courage because following His will often leads to what? Conflict. Everybody ain't going to love you. You ain't never fell into that, have you? Who in here, look around tonight. Who, when you said something for the Lord, who's got mad at you? Amen? Hey, I'm going to tell you all hell will come up against you. Hey, Johnny, they'll almost put you up on the cross. You say some things. Amen? It's just like that. And then what is it? We've got to be courageous because you must be willing to do what is right anyway. Now, when we go back there and look, it also says that we must fully surrender to Him, which goes hand in hand with that. Now, I'm going to tell you the fully surrender part's difficult. Because you think you surrendered, then you find out something different. I remember, hey, I said to this, I might end with this. I think the reason that Tracy and I have a good marriage is because somewhere along the line, over 24 years, Doug, that we decided to surrender to one another. Because when the argue used to start, Mary, she used to try to win and I used to try to win. And we wasn't going to be happy unless, hey, I was the winner. You never been there, Michelle? Come on now, I love it. I'm going, hey, you going to listen to me. No, you going to listen to me. Hey, next thing you know, hey, plates is flying, butcher knives are coming out.
Those things will come out.
Yeah, they surely will. Amen. Remember what you reap, you say, right? Amen. The Bible's true. Ain't no liar, right? Just right out there in plain sight. Think about it. I bet even the guys on the camp can say the same thing because you realize, hey, what we reap, we sow, right? We have reaping and sowing. It's something that we can't deny. But we got to surrender. I surrendered to my wife because you know what I did? One day I said, duh, man, it's better, hey, to make peace, to make love, than to make war. Amen. And I realized I liked the times when we were making love and peace, and more than I liked making war, Randy. I realized, hey, if I just wouldn't have started this stupid argument, then hey, I could have been happy with her tonight. I mean, I'm not just talking about physically, but I'm talking about just happy, right? Have a peaceful home. Think about that. But yeah, you'll let something. I mean, it can be little for a man. It's stupid. We stupid sometimes, all right? Let's admit it. Sometimes we do act that way, and sometimes, hey, men, sometimes the women, they act stupid too. Amen. We gotta get right with it. Sometimes. Yeah. Well, look. We all been there, Doug. But what I'll say is, think about it. We'll let one little thing, like, back when I was more centered about what Tracy could do for me, I mean, wash my dishes, clean my clothes, and do all, because I was stupid enough to think that was what she was putting my life for. Well, that is stupid, ain't it? When I realized that she was the mother of my child, a woman that God has placed in my life divinely, amen, and someone that is supposed to complete me because she's my helpmeet. It said that He took her from my rib. That's important that he took her from my rib. You know why? Because, hey, he didn't take her from my heel to put her underneath me, right? You know, he didn't take it, well, sometimes I wonder about the jawbone. I mean, no.